Soho, one of those New York City neighborhoods you can just envision in your mind without ever setting foot here. But there's more to do than just high-end shopping. Today, we're gonna show you how to spend the perfect day in Soho. They don't call it Soho for all the Porsches, although you see a lot of nice cars here. They call it Soho because it's south of Houston Street, not Houston, pronounced Houston. Start your adventure on Broadway and Houston. This area here on Broadway has just about the highest contingency of high-end shops in the United States. If you want to spend your money in New York City, this is the place to come to. It's crowded, it's full of tourists, but you should come at least once. Even TJ Maxx in Soho looks extra bougie. Dominique Ansel is one of the city's most famous bakeries. When the cronut came out years ago, the line would be hours long in the morning to try to get it, but they've still got some other really interesting goodies inside you can only find here. We actually bought gifts here for Adriana's mom in Mexico for Christmas to go. It's a good spot to buy some tasty gifts to go. One cronut and two of the cookie shots. So finally a shot that you can responsibly enjoy with your children. They'll love this. Cheers. Oh yeah. It's like you taste little parts of the chocolate chip cookie as that milk goes down. It's like dunking your cookie in a glass of milk. It's the same effect. And now the best part, you actually gotta eat it. And this is soaked with milk. So good. If your kids have a good day in New York, tell them to take them for a cookie shot. Uncle John approves. One of the most expensive pastries in New York City, the cronut, $6.50, often imitated, never duplicated. Half donut, half croissant. Big bite. Like I'm expecting the consistency of a donut, but it was definitely more croissant-like. Really packs a punch, got some cream filling in there. It wasn't like anything I expected it. It actually had these floral notes. It was like eating a milk tea. Really, really different. And look at the line forming now all of a sudden. This is what I'm used to at Dominique Ansel. Line to the garden in the back. Soho's world famous for some of its architecture, in particular cast iron buildings. There's more than 200 of them in this neighborhood, and this very street, Greene, between Canal and Grand, has more than anywhere else. What a sight it is. Is this actually what you're wearing? I was gonna say, this looks like Ben's style, $12.90. Oh man, that's it? $4.90 for these slippers? This is such a good deal. Dude, I think I'm considering buying this. I'm not even joking. 19 bucks, aroma diffuser. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. I'm gonna relax, place. I get asked all the time if I do trip consultations, and I don't. But I've got some good news for you. We've partnered with AskKonsu.com for them to make custom itineraries for your big trip to New York City. Working with them is easy. Complete a short form, describe your perfect day, and a dedicated trip consultant gets assigned to build your ideal itinerary. They map out attractions, rooftops, restaurants, and even nightlife. They're even available while you're in the city in case you need anything, like deliveries or even reservations. I've got a special link for you guys. Visit askkonsu.com/HereBeBarr and use my code HereBeBarr for 10% off. These guys are a game changer if you need some help planning ultimate trip to New York. When industry left Soho between 1950 to 1980, this area actually was very sketchy. And it became popular with artists, people that came in here that could take over the spaces, turn them into art galleries. A lot of big names were here. Andy Warhol, Basquiat, Keith Haring, and today it has some of the largest collection of art galleries anywhere in the world. And surrounded by all these art galleries is the Drawing Center, one of the coolest free museums in New York City, trust me. They have a very neat gift shop here for anyone out there who loves to draw. This would be a good gift.
My name is Isabella Kapoor, and I'm the curatorial associate here at the Drawing Center. So we're a small nonprofit art museum in the middle of Soho. We, as the name suggests, focus primarily on drawing. So this is a pretty fun exhibition. As you might be able to tell as we go through, the colors and the design is a little bit insane. Intentionally so, because it's the clamor of ornament. So this is one of the most exciting pieces in the show. It's a drawing by well-known textile designer, 19th century textile designer, William Morris. First of all, it's just like beautifully, beautifully done. You've probably, without knowing it, seen his designs. They're everywhere. You can find them in clothing and wallpaper in films. I noticed one in the background of Crazy Rich Asians. Okay. Huge, wallpaper, yeah. William Morris.
Oh, so what's this right here with the American flag?
So this is a Navajo chief's blanket. It's from sometime after the 1860s.
You know, this is something you don't find just at any shop in Soho. Kimonos, Pearl River Mart, very cool store. This is what I'm talking about, live fountains. Not your everyday gift in New York City, but really cool. If you want to be able to afford to shop at the higher end places in Soho, just buy one of these, a money tree.
Mario! Yeah, with that, man. Good meeting you.
And you too, man. Too many tourists just go to Tribeca to see the Ghostbusters firehouse, but they skip the New York City Fire Museum, which I think is way better. This was actually an old firehouse. You know, with September 11th approaching, very important to pay your respects to all the firefighters who were lost on that horrible day right here.
Made right here in New York, 247 Water Street.
So this is how they used to do it, they just wheel it.
Yeah, that's it, pull it.
Mid-1800s, this was actually used to put out fires in Staten Island. If you've ever seen like old movies, they use stuff like this. Wow. You even have the fire hydrants in the elevator, wow. Can't say I've ever seen that in an elevator before. Dude, look at this.
All of these were pulled by Mann with the exception of the Chief's sled. That belonged to Chief Kruger.
Still preserved too, wow. Oldest engine.
Yeah.
I think these helmets are absolutely fantastic. They're so ornate and detailed. He was telling me that the one thing they're sure of from the original fire station here, because this used to be a fire station, are these stairs built in 1905. You are not going to find this very commonly in New York City. Admission is $10, and even if you don't want to come in, at least check out some of these amazing shirts and souvenirs right at their store. We're on Sullivan Street. I actually used to live 2 blocks from here, and when I first got my apartment in the Village, the broker said, if this apartment was 1 block away in Soho, it would be about $1,000 more a month. And one thing that Soho is world famous for are the loft apartments, because remember, there was a lot of industry and a lot of factories here, and those eventually got converted into apartments. If you remember the video we shot about that Tom Cruise apartment, perfect example. 12 chairs. I used to come here all the time when I lived in the Village, just 2 blocks from here. Mixture of Israeli, Mediterranean food, so good. 12 chairs is the perfect combination because you can be casual here, but it also gets a really fashionable crowd. You can come here for a date, you can come here for a celebration. The brunches are really well known also. Wow. Thank you so much. Slowly cooked tomatoes, garlic, green hot peppers. This is what you come to 12 chairs for. These small plates, healthy. Delicious. I've even taken my mom here before, and she is a super picky eater, and she even loves this spot. I think we got too much appetizer, to be honest with you. This is enough for 2 or 3 people. We'll feed Ben though. Ben's like, So this is one of the signatures here. I used to always order this, the 12 chairs lamb burger. Look at that big piece of feta cheese right in the middle. Also have some spicy mayo and Israeli pickle, onions, right on top of lamb meat. This brings me back. I have not been to 12 chairs in too long, I will tell you, way too long. When I talk about a burger, to me it's all about the meat first, and this lamb is so juicy, so tender. It almost doesn't feel right putting this between 2 buns, but that's exactly what we've done. It's like a gourmet burger, essentially. It's what you've ordered here. It's been too long, too long. I better slow down. I can finish this very, very quickly.
I feel so uncultured. It's like a crunchy burger. It looks like an appetizer, but basing it off the first couple of bites, this could get heavy, but it could also be worth it because it's delicious.
Most tourists have heard about Soho, but have you ever been to the Lower East Side? In this guide video right here, we take you through some amazing attractions and places to eat in one of New York's coolest neighborhoods. Give it a look.